Off the Cuff is supported by Patreon. Join today and become an honorary producer and get in-show credit on every episode.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the show. I bet you're wondering why I'm on StreamYard. I'll let you know, I promise. But today's show is a true triple threat. One, it's a food I've never done before. Two, it's probably my favorite food of all time, no lie. And three, I get to hang out with my friend Tom, who I've known for over 40 years. The food I'm making is low-carb Moo Shu Chicken. Now, growing up in Long Island, I wasn't exposed to a wide variety of Chinese food. My mom grew up in Greenwich Village during the Depression in the 30s, and on Sundays, her father would give her a nickel and a bucket. She would go to the local Chinese restaurant. They would fill the bucket with chop suey, and they feasted on it. Yeah, so she always loved chop suey, and that's what she fed to me. And you know what? For the first 2, 3, 4, 500 times I had it, it was okay. But I was underwhelmed. It wasn't my favorite thing in the world. Then I went to Hofstra University, and I met Tom Frey. Tom and I actually started a comedy team. More on that later as well. But Tom introduced me to Chinese food. We went to the ill-fated Sunrise Mall to a place called David's China House, where I had Moo Shu for the very first time. It was fantastic. But you know what? That's why we're on StreamYard. Tom is here. Let's bring him in. Let's talk about it.
So, of course, I credit you not only with my career, which we'll talk about, but also with introducing me to Moo Shu. Do you remember anything about David's China House?
Oh yeah, I would go there maybe 3-4 times a week and eat there. You know,
wow, not just with me then. So you were cheating on me.
Well, no. You know, you would come over. I'd say, "What do you want to eat?" And you want Moo Shu, so we'd go to David's. And the next day, our friend Steve Arniotis would come over, and I'd say, "What do you want to eat?" And he'd say, "I'd like that Chinese place." So we'd go to David's again, and the next day, it just kind of worked out that way, so that we would go there. Always say hi to David. He's sitting there. He's got those silk pajama type clothes on, and just
he looked like a Bond villain. He really did. Yeah. For years, I mean, once I started doing comedy, it was tough. But every Friday or every Thursday, when I would have Moo Shu, and it's my favorite to this day, and I can't wait to make it on the show.
We would go there. It was great because you could stop. We'd be rehearsing the act, and you could stop and just eat.
Yeah, and now we did have a comedy act. We were Tom and Craig. We did Abbott and Costello style routines.
Yep.
Do you remember our first TV appearance? What was that?
Oh, that was New York Nights, the first TV appearance.
I
remember that well.
Tell me about it. What do you remember about it?
I remember when the overhead light almost fell and hit you, and that was quite an experience.
Wouldn't it be great if we had that on video? Oh wait, we do.
Well, that's good, because the last time I talked to her, she was... What did you say?
I said she should like her when she gets bored with it.
Oh, well, if she gets bored with it, why would she end it in the first place?
Going.
I was looking down here at the monitor. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, that was crazy. But we did move up. We had national exposure. Remember that?
Oh, Joe Franklin. Got to see him, Bing Crosby's chair. Just wonderful stuff.
Would you like to see yourself sitting in Bing Crosby's chair?
Oh, I love Bing Crosby's chair.
Your wish is my command.
For a sample of Tom and Craig.
Who cares? Loan in the bank, loan in the car, what's the difference?
No. You want your wife to sign a lien.
A lien?
Yeah, he wants a lien against the house.
Why? Is it falling down? What do they buy?
No. A lien is a mortgage. Didn't you go through escrow?
Sure, I went through escrow. Pigeon.
No, one of the great
All I know is he called me Craig Michelle.
Well, that's right. He misspelled my name. That's okay. You know.
You know what I was thinking, Tom?
What?
I was thinking back then, wouldn't it have been really cool if we'd done like a comedy bit based on Moo Shu?
That would have been something, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I wonder what that would have looked like.
Wait a minute. We're not going to do one of those flashback things, are we?
Oh, yes, we are.
So, you ready for some Moo Shu?
What's wrong with the shoes I have on?
Who said anything about shoes? I asked if you were ready for Moo Shu.
No, thanks. I look better in sandals.
Listen to me. You don't wear Moo Shu.
Oh, you don't wear it?
Of course not.
Well, that's a load off my feet.
You eat it.
I beg your pardon.
You eat it. It's a popular dish.
Well, it must be a big dish. Cows are huge.
Who said anything about cows?
You did.
Look, I'm not talking about cows. I'm talking about Moo Shu.
Well, you eat Moo Shu, right?
Of course.
Boy, are those cows gonna be surprised.
What are you talking about?
Well, cows moo.
So?
One day you're mooing, the next day you're Moo Shu.
Will you stop it, please?
You know what? I changed my mind. I like cows. I'm not gonna order Moo Shu.
Fine.
I'll have a hamburger instead.
Why, I oughta.
Wow. Wow. All the way from Maine.
You're being ridiculous. Moo Shu has nothing to do with cows. What are you, a vegan?
No, I'm Presbyterian.
Look, you know there are many kinds of Moo Shu.
You don't say.
I do say. Why, you've got Moo Shu chicken, Moo Shu pork, Moo Shu shrimp.
Shrimp? Shrimp moo?
What are you talking about?
I wondered, do seahorses whinny?
Would you stop?
That's why they call that horse Sea Biscuit.
Well, you make sense.
I'm sorry, I'm all out of change.
Look, Moo Shu, it's a Chinese dish.
Oh, like Lucy Lou?
Why, I ought to slap you again.
Oh, I'd like to see you try. I got your slapping hand right here.
Why, I oughta. Look, today's show, look at me, today's show is all about low-carb Moo Shu chicken and plum sauce.
Will you make up your mind? First it's cows, now it's chicken.
And we're gonna have pancakes.
We're gonna have pancakes.
Sure, so you can wrap the Moo Shu.
Oh, no. I can't rap. I tried to get down once.
What happened?
I never got up.
Here are the ingredients.
Okay, I can hardly wait. It's time for the Moo Shu Chicken low carb style. First up, 1 pound of chicken breast, thinly sliced, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon each of rice vinegar and sesame oil, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of hoisin sauce, 1 teaspoon of ginger, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic or to taste, 2 eggs scrambled, 1 cup of shiitake mushrooms thinly sliced, 1/2 cup of shredded carrots. Continue on the next page, 1 cup of Napa cabbage thinly shredded, 3 to 4 green onions chopped, 1/2 cup bamboo shoots, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of Shousing wine. That's optional. Now for the sugar-free plum sauce. 4 plums, frozen or fresh, pitted and chopped. 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon each of sweetener, I'm using monk fruit allulose, and minced garlic, 1/2 teaspoon of grated ginger, and 1/8 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Okay, it's Moo Shu time. First, we take our chicken. This is 1 pound of chicken fingers, actually, or sliced chicken. And we're going to cut this up and marinate it. This is a lot of chicken, but then again, I'm making more than 1 serving of Moo Shu here. Usually I make less, but I'm going to want to eat this for several days, I think. I've been waiting for this dish for so long. Like I say, just cutting up the chicken. I haven't decided that I think I'm going to put it in a bag, so that way more of the chicken gets marinated better. Now we're going to take a bag, any kind of bag you have, a storage bag. I'm putting all the chicken in there. Pour the chicken in.
And now in goes the marinade. This is just water. I don't know what each one is. That's the sesame oil for sure. This is the soy sauce. All right. This is the Shaoxing wine, the Shaoxing wine. I don't know how to pronounce that either. And rice vinegar. All right. Now we also have to add one more thing. Just a little bit of cornstarch. Just a little bit. And then we're going to mix it all up. Now we're going to let it marinate in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes. Okay, so I've turned my pan on to medium heat, which is 3 on this thing. And here's our pitted and sliced plums. And now we're just going to cut them up. And as we cut them up, we're going to throw them into the pan. There we are. Just slice them all up. All right, now we're going to put, there we go, into there. I think I missed one. Yeah, we did. Move that out. All right, stir this around like I said. Now we're going to put in our soy sauce, our rice wine vinegar. This is the garlic and the ginger. This is the monk fruit allulose. I'm going to stir this up now. And this is going to go for about 20-25 minutes or so. And we want to get to the point where everything is really nice and, well, reduced and thickened, and you'll see. Now, it says red chili flakes or red pepper flakes are optional. I'm going to throw it in just a little bit, just a tad, like an eighth of a teaspoon, just a little bit. And now we're going to spin this and we're going to let it cook down for about 20 minutes at this heat. Now, I'm going to make a little bit of a confession here. When I originally dreamed up this recipe, I was going to do Moo Shu Chicken, low-carb Moo Shu Chicken with homemade low-carb pancakes. But the pancakes kind of intimidated me, so I actually tried a couple of recipes ahead of time. It was a disaster. So I said, okay, I'm going to buy low-carb tortillas, which I'll be bringing out later, and I'll make a plum sauce, because whenever I get Moo Shu at a restaurant, even these days, I can't have the plum sauce because there's too much sugar. Now I can. See, already you can see that the plums are starting to break down a little, which is exactly what you want. And I'm not making a whole bunch of plum sauce. I'm making pretty much enough for me and my Moo Shu. Me and my Moo Shu. Okay. It's already kind of forming into a sauce. It's kind of gelling together. It's not really a sauce yet, but you can see I can actually mash up the plums rather easily with a rubber spatula. That's a good sign. Okay, off the heat. We're going to let this cool now for about 10 minutes. Okay, so it's cooled down. Now it's time to use my Ninja. Comes with its own soundtrack. So we're going to put our plum sauce ingredients, or I don't know what to call this, our slurry, our starter kit, I don't know what to call it. Power on. Okay, the first time I'm using this, let's use slow. And now medium. That just sounds powerful. Let's see how it looks. Oh, look at that! Plum sauce! So, what I'm actually going to do is wow, that's sharp. That is, guess what I just learned today, kids? The Ninja is sharp. And now what we're going to do is we're going to try to strain it a little bit. Just going to keep running this until we get more in there. This will make it super fine. Not that the Ninja won't, but man, you know, it's the first time I'm using the Ninja, and when you take out the blade, you gotta be careful. My first injury in a long time. There, I did it. Yep,
I'm gonna go get a Band-Aid. You can watch Food Facts.
Prior to the 19th century, Moo Shu, which was traditionally called Moo Shu Ro, originated in the Shandong province in northern China. Moo Shu comes from the name Muxi, which makes sense because that means sweet osmanthus. And well, that comes from the yellow of the scrambled eggs in the dish, resembling sweet, fragrant osmanthus flowers. The name Moo Shu is thought to refer to the Moo Shu tree, which is a type of tree which is native to China and is thought to represent longevity and earthiness. The dish was originally made with pork, wood ear mushrooms, bamboo shoots, and egg, stir-fried together with garlic, ginger, and soy sauce. Unlike the American Chinese version, the Shandong style was not served with pancakes or hoisin sauce. Instead, it was typically served over plain rice. As the dish moved beyond Shandong in the 19th century, it was adapted in Beijing and Tianjin by chefs who refined it by balancing its textures and flavors. Common in that period were wood ear mushrooms and also lily buds, which were used to enhance its umami flavor. Entering the 20th century, Moo Shu was still primarily in northern China. Meanwhile, chefs in southern China preferred to stir-fry pork and vegetables in a Cantonese oyster sauce or fermented bean paste, but soon, Moo Shu found its way to Guangdong and Fujian. Entering the 1940s and the 1950s, Moo Shu was still not a staple dish in American Chinese cuisine. At the time, Cantonese dishes were dominant, such as I mentioned before, chop suey and egg foo young. As more Chinese immigrated from northern regions, United States restaurants began experimenting with Mandarin-style food, which of course included Moo Shu. By the 1960s, Mandarin restaurants were on the rise in the United States, and Moo Shu was starting to become more and more popular, especially in New York, where I'm from, and Washington, D.C. In D.C., Chef K.T. Lai, a well-renowned and respected restaurateur, made Moo Shu very, very popular in his eatery called the Peking Restaurant. In the 1970s, Moo Shu became a staple on the American Chinese menu, but it did evolve. It started as Moo Shu pork. Now, this is what I was first introduced to. Then there was Moo Shu chicken, Moo Shu beef, Moo Shu shrimp, which we made a joke about, but it's actually quite delicious, and Moo Shu vegetables, which actually can include tofu. And now it's time to talk about plum sauce. Plums originated in China and Japan, where they've been cultivated for thousands of years. Plums are historically significant in China. They symbolize good luck and have been used in numerous art forms. Classic plum sauce is made with plums, sugar, vinegar, garlic, ginger, or red chili pepper or red pepper. The texture of classic plum sauce is thick and viscous, much like jam or ketchup. Plum sauce's natural acidity and saltiness made it extremely shelf-stable. Yeah, so it could be canned, bottled, or preserved for extended periods of time. Originally, plum sauce was known as plum chutney or plum paste. It's a staple in Cantonese cooking, and it's known for its slightly tangy and salty flavor profile. Plum sauce is the preferred dipping sauce for many different dishes, including spring and egg rolls, duck and pork dishes, and Moo Shu. But for Moo Shu, yeah, you can dip it, but I like to spread it on the pancake and then wrap it. And now it's time for Moo Shu and plum sauce trivia. There is no National Moo Shu Day. However, National Chinese Food Day is September 24th. Moo Shu was originally pronounced Moo Shai or Moo Shi pork. Aw. Don't be shy. You're fantastic. In the 1970s and the 1980s, Moo Shu pork and Moo Shu chicken were marketed as low-calorie Chinese food choices. The Cantonese call Moo Shu pork Muxi Yuk, or wood-shaved pork. National Plum Day is May 17th. It's also my nephew's birthday. Duck sauce is a form of plum sauce. It's true. By the way, duck sauce is way more prevalent on the East Coast because East Coast Chinese food is way more Americanized. Here in the West Coast, just plum sauce is way more common. When you put Moo Shu chicken, pork, shrimp, beef, vegetables in a pancake, it's a wrap. But you know, many Americans think of it as a Chinese burrito.
When you eat Moo Shu at a restaurant, it's served a couple of different ways. It can be served to you with pancakes separately and you wrap it yourself. Or it will come to your table already wrapped in the pancake. Or if you're lucky, the chef or the server will actually fold it for you right at the table. Yeah, I'm hungry now. And that's Food Facts. Okay, I have the wok out. Yay. Now spray it with a little olive oil, just a little bit. And now we have our eggs. Here's the first thing we're going to do is scramble our eggs. And we're not going to do it till it's all the way done, about 80% done. Just put it around in here. Okay, it's great. And a wok, everything happens fast. That's about done already, believe it or not. Because remember, it's going to cook again. So let's get it into the bowl. Oh, some more goes in the bowl. In the bowl. The egg goes in the bowl. More oil. Now we're going to cook our chicken. Everything goes in. The chicken, the marinade, whatever you have in the bag goes in. There we go. Now we're going to cook this chicken until it changes color a little bit, until it becomes mostly white. That's what we're going to do. Okay, yeah, the chicken is mostly done. It's going to go into. Okay, now it's time for the veggies. Some olive oil. Let's put in the cabbage first. The wok's going to have to warm up again. Green onions. The carrots. The mushrooms. Oh boy. And the bamboo shoots. At this point, we put in the garlic and the ginger too. All this comes when we put the chicken in. Let's put in most of the chicken. That made a difference. And now the egg. The egg you want to break up a little bit so it gets well distributed. And in goes your soy sauce, your rice wine vinegar, Jiaxing wine, the sesame oil. Yeah, we're cooking with gas now. A little bit of water. All right, and to finish it off, some hoisin sauce and oyster sauce. It might be the other way around. I really can't tell them apart. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I am making Moo Shu. Look at me go. Okay, the Moo Shu is done. The plum sauce is done. Here are my, these are actually low carb tortillas. And you can throw them in a pan if you want. I'm way too anxious to eat to do that, but you can. First, you take a plum sauce and you put, see, this is something I could never do because this is sugar-free. Well, not sugar-free, it has the plums, but you know what I mean. And you take your Moo Shu. Oh, the Moo Shu. And of course, if you want a side like rice or something, you can do that. And you fold it in. There we have the Moo Shu number 1. Do with the plum sauce. Here comes Moo Shu number 2. Oh yeah, plum sauce. The Moo Shu. Oh man, I can't believe I made this myself. There we are. Homemade low carb Moo Shu chicken with plum sauce.
Moo Shu, baby, you're my delight. Wrap me up,
And we are here. I actually made my favorite dish of all time, and I don't say that lightly. As you can tell, I used to like food. Gotta change these big chef coats, but still, I cannot believe I made it. I've been thinking about making this for years, and I just thought I just didn't have the expertise, or I don't know. I was afraid to do it, but I've done it. I did my own plum sauce. Didn't do my own pancakes. I was smart to stay out of that because I did try some tests and they were terrible. But here we go. I've been waiting for this for a long time. I'm going to taste my homemade Moo Shu Chicken. Oh, I hope it's good. I hope it's good. If it's not good, I'm going to be terribly disappointed. Here we go. Oh my God. It's not good. It's great! This tastes just like the Moo Shu I remember back at David's China House. Delicious. It's crispy. It's tangy. It has all the flavors. The oyster sauce, the plum sauce, the hoisin sauce, garlic, the ginger, or the garlic, the ginger. Oh my. Oh my. Guess what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of years? Making this. And I can make Moo Shu shrimp, Moo Shu beef, whatever. This is fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, out of all my shows, this is the king. Yes, this is my favorite. When people ask me, what's your favorite thing you do in your show? This, Moo Shu Chicken. Oh my gosh, is this good. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. I'm here again in another 2 weeks with yet another recipe. It won't be Moo Shu, but I guarantee you it's going to be good. Until then, this is Craig Mitchell saying, be well, eat good.